my days, shining like the sun, lighting up my waves. With every glance you catch me by surprise. You're the apple of my eyes, my sweet alibis. In this game of life, you're my favorite play. No one can stop me, I'm loving you all day. Oh Sylvie, you're my sunshine, my delight. In this beautiful life, you're my guiding light. Forever I'll cherish, forever I'll stay. With you in my arms, love won't fade away. If God hit restart, I'd pick you again. With your heart of gold, love, you're my closest friend. Attractive and kind, like a star in the night. Sylvie, you're my life, you make every...
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. We're going to hear a story about hope, loss, and the choices we make. We travel to Western Africa, to a small village bathed in sunshine and hardship. It's here we meet Aisha. Aisha's story is a tragic one, but it's also a reminder that life is precious. So let's begin, shall we? Let's travel together to Aisha's village and understand her world. Let's meet this extraordinary young woman. Aisha was a bright light in her village. She was known for her quick wit and beautiful smile. But more than that, Aisha possessed a rare strength and courage. Life in Western Africa was difficult, with scarce resources and opportunities. Yet, Aisha refused to be defined by her circumstances. She knew education was the key, and walked miles to the local schoolhouse every day. Aisha dreamed of a brighter future for herself and her family. She believed in the power of possibilities. Aisha yearned for a life beyond the borders of her village. She heard stories of Europe, a land of opportunity. These stories fueled her desire for a better life, free from poverty and war. But getting to Europe was a daunting task, with nearly impossible visas and a dangerous journey. Yet Aisha refused to give up on her dreams. She clung to them with unwavering hope. A life free from the constraints of her homeland haunted her dreams. Aisha often shared her dreams with her friends. They would gather under the shade of baobab trees, whispering about a life beyond the Atlantic. The allure of Europe was powerful, promising education, employment, and escape from poverty. For Aisha and her friends, Europe represented a beacon of hope. They clung to these dreams, sharing stories of others who had attempted the journey. Some spoke of successfully reaching Italy or Spain, finding work, and sending money back. These stories fueled their desire for a different life. They yearned for the opportunity to create a brighter future. The decision to leave weighed heavily on Aisha's heart. She loved her family and village deeply, but staying meant a life of struggle. Aisha yearned to provide for her family, to offer them comfort and security. The only way to achieve this dream was to risk everything on a perilous journey to Europe. It was a gamble, but Aisha felt it was a risk worth taking. She believed that by reaching Europe, she could build a better life and bring her family to join her. It was a dream that kept her going, even when faced with daunting realities. Aisha knew the journey to Europe would be expensive. She needed to secure funds for travel and the treacherous passage across the Mediterranean. With a heavy heart, she asked her parents to sell their most valuable possession, their small plot of land. The land had sustained their family for generations, a source of food and income. Aisha's parents were devastated but understood her desperation. Torn between love for their daughter and attachment to their heritage, they faced an impossible choice. They knew the risks involved but couldn't stand in the way of Aisha's dreams. They saw the limited opportunities that surrounded her. The weight of Aisha's request settled over the small family like a shroud. Days turned into sleepless nights as Aisha's parents grappled with their decision. Their love for their daughter was absolute, but the thought of parting with their land felt like losing a part of themselves. They knew the risks Aisha would face on her journey, yet they saw the fire in Aisha's eyes, the unwavering belief in a better life. They knew denying her this chance would crush her spirit. Aisha's dream was bigger than their fear, a desperate yearning for a brighter future. The day arrived for Aisha's departure, a day etched in both anticipation and sorrow. The entire village gathered to see her off, their faces a mixture of apprehension and encouragement. Tears streamed down Aisha'S mother's face as she embraced her daughter tightly, whispering prayers for her safety. Her father placed a small wooden carving of their family's protector spirit in Aisha'S hand. Aisha promised to return soon, to build them a grand house with running water and electricity. She carried their love and hopes with her, a precious burden on her shoulders. The bus rumbled along dusty roads, leaving the familiar sights of Aisha'S village behind. As the landscape changed, Aisha'S apprehension gave way to a determined resolve. She was committed to making her dream a reality. The other passengers shared a common goal: to reach the shores of Europe. They exchanged stories of loved ones left behind and hopes for a brighter future. Aisha listened intently, her heart filled with hope and trepidation. She clung to the belief that the risks were worth taking, that a better life awaited her. The rickety boat bobbed precariously on the churning waters. It was crammed full of hopeful souls, all yearning for a chance at a new life. Aisha clung tightly to the small wooden carving her father had given her. The sky transformed into a canvas of menacing gray, the wind howling like a banshee. Waves crashed over the bow, soaking the terrified passengers. Despite the fear, Aisha tried to maintain hope, believing she would survive and reach Europe. She whispered a silent prayer, pleading for deliverance from the unforgiving sea. The tumultuous roar of the storm eventually subsided, leaving behind an eerie silence. Aisha opened her eyes, her body aching, her mind struggling to comprehend the devastation. The once overcrowded boat had vanished, swallowing the dreams and hopes of its passengers. She found herself clinging to a piece of driftwood, the only visible remnant of the vessel. The vast expanse of the ocean stretched out before her, a watery graveyard for countless souls. Yet, even in the face of such profound despair, a flicker of defiance ignited within her. She clung to the wooden carving, a tangible reminder of her love for her family. Thousands of miles away in a small village, a mother's heart ached with a nameless dread. Since Aisha's departure, a shadow had fallen over her spirit. She paced the dirt floor of her home, clutching a brightly colored scarf Aisha had left behind. She sought solace in prayer, offering pleas for Aisha's safety. She shared her fears with her husband, seeking comfort in his embrace. But nothing could quell the growing certainty that something was terribly wrong. The letters Aisha promised to send never arrived. Days turned into nights as Aisha clung to the driftwood. The sun beat down mercilessly, her throat parched with thirst. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, but it was the despair that threatened to consume her. She hallucinated, seeing the faces of her loved ones in the waves. The wooden carving became a painful reminder of the promise she had made. As her body weakened, Aisha made peace with her fate, whispering a final prayer. She released the wooden carving, surrendering to the sea. News traveled slowly, arriving in Aisha's village like a thief in the night. A collective gasp of grief rippled through the small community. Aisha's mother, her heart shattered, collapsed upon hearing the news. Her wails of anguish echoed through the dusty streets. The village elders offered words of comfort, but even their wisdom seemed hollow. They spoke of Aisha's courage and determination. The village gathered to mourn their beloved Aisha, sharing stories of her kindness and dreams. The small wooden carving eventually washed ashore on a distant beach. A young boy discovered it, intrigued by its simple beauty. He didn't understand the story it held, the weight of sorrow it carried, but as he turned it over in his small hands, he felt a strange connection. The boy took the carving home, placing it on his bedside table. Aisha's journey may have ended tragically, but her story lived on. In that small act of remembrance, Aisha's spirit found a measure of peace. News traveled slowly from the coast, often taking days or even weeks to reach the remote village. It arrived in Aisha's village like a whisper on the wind, carried by traders and travelers passing through, their faces etched with the weariness of long journeys. At first, it was just a rumor, a vague story of a boat lost at sea, a tale that seemed too distant to touch their lives. But even the slightest possibility sent a chill down the spines of those who knew and loved Aisha, their hearts heavy with unspoken fears. Each day that passed without word from Aisha, the fear in the village grew, spreading like a shadow over their daily lives. Her parents, clinging to the hope that their daughter had reached her destination safely, questioned every traveler, their voices trembling with a mixture of hope and despair, their eyes searching for any sign of reassurance. The villagers, bound by a shared sense of dread, offered what little comfort they could, their words often falling short of easing the pain. They reminded each other of Aisha's strength, her resilience, her unwavering determination, qualities that had always set her apart. They clung to the belief that she, of all people, could survive even the most perilous journey, her spirit unbroken by the challenges she faced. But as the days turned into weeks, a heavy silence settled over the village, a silence that spoke louder than words. The whispers of hope faded into whispers of despair, the once vibrant conversations now reduced to hushed tones of sorrow. Aisha's absence, once a source of anxious anticipation, became a gaping wound in the heart of the community, a constant reminder of the fragility of hope and the weight of loss. The silence from Aisha was deafening, a void that echoed through the walls of their home. Her mother, clutching the brightly colored scarf Aisha had left behind, felt a deep ache in her heart, a pain that seemed to grow with each passing day. The scarf, once a symbol of her daughter's vibrant spirit, now felt heavy with a mother's intuition, a premonition of a tragedy she could not bear to name. It was as if the fabric itself had absorbed the sorrow and fear that now filled their lives. The weight of unanswered prayers pressed down on the small village, a community bound together by shared grief and silent hope. The elders, their faces lined with years of wisdom and hardship, struggled to find words of comfort. Their silence spoke volumes, a testament to the depth of their empathy and the limits of their solace. How do you console a mother facing the unbearable silence of a child lost? The question lingered in the air, unanswered, as the village women gathered around her, offering what little comfort they could. Even the vibrant colors of the African sunset seemed to dim, as if the sky itself mourned with them, as if reflecting the sorrow that had enveloped the village, casting a shadow over the once lively streets and homes. The laughter of children, once a constant melody, was replaced by hushed whispers and worried glances. Their innocent faces now bore the weight of a sadness they could not fully understand. Aisha's absence was felt everywhere, in every corner of the village, in every heart that had known her. In the empty space at the dinner table, a stark reminder of the void she left behind. In the unfinished chores around the family home, tasks that once seemed mundane now felt insurmountable. In the silence that greeted her parents each morning when they woke to a world without their daughter, a silence that was both a presence and an absence, a constant reminder of their loss. The realization that Aisha was gone, lost to the unforgiving sea, settled slowly over the village. It was a truth too painful to comprehend, a wound too deep to heal. The dreams she had dared to dream, the life she had envisioned for herself and her family, vanished beneath the waves. The land that Aisha's parents had sacrificed, the land that was supposed to be her ticket to a better future, now stood as a cruel reminder of their loss. It was a constant, painful reminder of the dreams they had poured their hearts into, dreams that were now lost forever. The villagers, bound by their shared grief, rallied around Aisha's family, offering what little comfort they could. They shared stories of Aisha's kindness, her infectious laughter, her unwavering belief in a brighter tomorrow. But even in the face of such overwhelming loss, a glimmer of hope remained. The memory of Aisha's spirit, her determination, her unwavering belief in the power of dreams, continued to inspire those she left behind. Aisha's story is a tragedy that echoes through the hearts of many. It's a stark reminder of the immense risks people are willing to take for a chance at a better life, often leaving everything behind. Aisha's dream, like so many others, died with her in the unforgiving waters of the Mediterranean, a place that has claimed countless lives. Her family was left to grapple with the devastating consequences of her loss, a void that can never be filled. Aisha's story is a heartbreaking reminder that the pursuit of a better life can come at a devastating cost, one that affects not just the individual but entire families and communities. Aisha's story is a call to action, urging us to look beyond our borders and see the humanity in every person. It's a plea for empathy and understanding for those who risk everything to escape poverty, war, and oppression, seeking only safety and a chance to live with dignity. It's a reminder that we must work together to create a world where such perilous journeys are no longer necessary, where everyone can find safety and opportunity in their own homeland. We must honor Aisha's memory by working towards a world where everyone has the opportunity to achieve their dreams without risking their lives, where hope does not come with a price tag. A world where every young person, regardless of where they are born, has a chance to reach their full potential, to learn, to grow, and to thrive. Let Aisha's story serve as a reminder that the pursuit of a better life should never come at the cost of a human life, that every life is precious and worth protecting. Thank you for listening to Aisha's story. May it inspire you to act with compassion and to advocate for a world where such tragedies are a thing of the past. Please subscribe, share, and like. Your support helps us continue to tell these important stories. Don't forget to come back for more stories like this.